Is paying almost $100 yearly for a service like Linktree worth it? Well, for someone who have no idea what websites are, maybe. Hey there, my name is Grigory Holinok and I design and develop websites. And I think we could easily build everything Linktree offers on our own because it's super simple and would cost us nothing. So let's jump to it. Every project starts with planning, and this one is no exception. I've created this board with all the features I found on Linktree pages, and I divided them into three groups: core features, nice to have, and optional. Optional features are too specific and don't fit well my use case for Link Hub. So I'm focusing on creating pages that contain links. I'll design it to match my brand's visual identity. Next, I'll implement a contact form just like I did in my previous video, and I'll add analytics to track which links get clicked. And just as an example of social media integration, I would add latest YouTube video feature. Here, I also defined what tool I would use to implement each feature. Now from words to action. Let's start with the heading. In my case, it's my name. Then let's describe what my brand is about. Now I need to list my links: a YouTube channel, a Telegram channel, and a website. Next, I want to add a contact form. Nothing special, just name, email, and submit button. Looks ugly, right? Let's design it a bit. I expect people to visit my link hub from social media links, direct messages, or maybe QR codes on some physical surface. That means they would likely use smartphone to access it. So I want to design it for smartphone first and then scale it for tablets and desktops. For mobile screens, I'll use max width 480 pixels media query with the container set to 320 pixels. This container is divided into 4 columns with 16 pixels gap. To make the page recognizable, I want to add avatar. This avatar will be centered and take up 2 columns. The rest of elements will each take up 4 columns. Every link in the contact form will be placed inside the card. Each card will have 8 pixels padding and 8 pixels corner radius. For YouTube, let's make a preview of the latest video instead of simple link. The video thumbnail should always maintain 16 to 9 aspect ratio. Intuitively, we may want to place a play button on it, but that's a bad UX decision. Users will expect it to play, but it's just a link. And yes, we could embed the video instead of using a link, but I think YouTube offers better tools to keep viewers engaged than Link Hub does. Let's add icon for Telegram and website to make them easier to recognize. And it's time to color the page. My brand has a nice pastel red palette. For background, I want to have this mid 200 tone. I'll use lightest color for cards and darkest for text and icons. Mid 600 for placeholder text and mid 800 for submit button. As a cherry on top, I'm adding this geometric seamless texture to the background to make it a bit more unique. And a few final touches. That's it. To save time, I'll start from basic CSS, but I don't need half of its styles. Since I don't have a header, footer, navigation, and banners, I can just remove them. Now let's set up fonts and colors. Actually, I can just copy them from my existing website. But we need to handle content distribution across different screen sizes. Basic CSS is designed for landing pages, and for landing pages, primary version of the web page is usually one for desktop. To make the mobile version the primary one, we need to rethink the design system logic. By default, the container takes smallest possible screen width. So once there isn't enough space for such a container, media query switches to the next screen type. With this approach, we can guarantee proper content distribution without relying on a pile of breakpoints. But this time we don't need so much space. So my idea is to make container take smallest screen size of smaller device. Width of container on desktop would be the same as the smallest width on the horizontal table screen. Also, layout will use 4-column grid across all screens. And now everything looks great. And it's not about page styling, but still, I want a nice preview when sharing the link in social media and Messenger. So let's also add meta tags and open graph. Now we're ready to publish our website. First, we need to create a new repository, but I've already created it. So now I can make my first commit to GitHub and just push the files. I've also already deployed website using GitHub Pages. To do that, just check the Pages section in the repository settings. Long story short, our website is live, but we still need somehow collect contacts, track visitor clicks, and automatically update latest YouTube video. To collect contacts, I'm using same FormSpree solution I've used in my landing page video. FormSpree installation is super simple. I only need to add my individual endpoint link to the form action attribute, and that's it. In a production scenario, we would need to set up additional validation, but I'm using the service for a month and have no fraudulent submissions. So, if you're interested in handling forms on your own and setting up validation, let me know in comments. And as you can see, we've received a new submission, so the form works. Now let's set up a click tracking. For this, we will use Google Analytics 4. First, let's create a new data stream. Now we need to implement a special tag and script that Google provides us. We just need to place it right below the head tag. By default, Google Analytics don't track clicks, so we need to enable enhanced event tracking. Now we can track all outbound link clicks, but we also want to track each link separately. So we need to create new events. Event name should be equal to click, and link URL should match the href attribute of the link we're tracking. We need to create an event like this for each of our link. And since our YouTube link is dynamic, we should track link domain instead of link URL. And now that everything is installed, let's test it with debug view. We need to start a new session, then test every link and form to see if they've been tracked properly. And everything works fine. So let's go further. And now it's time to implement last feature for today. Dynamic update of latest YouTube video. We need a YouTube API key and channel ID to build the query for YouTube API endpoint. Here is what the query should look like. Keep in mind, exposing your API key in general is bad practice. To make it appropriate, we need to restrict key usage request to our specific website. Once we build the query, we can make a script that runs when page fully loads. The script fetches latest video from YouTube and find element we created for it in the DOM and update its href attribute. Then it updates the video title and thumbnail as well. In my case, it's video about creation of landing page. But if you visit the link below this video, it would be the newer one. However, this DOM manipulation strategy isn't perfect. For example, if the API request fails, visitor will see the hard-coded video which might be outdated. So you might consider manual updates as more stable option. And that's it. We are done with implementation. Just look at this. Fully custom, easy to scale, and free alternative for $0. Of course, there is still room for improvement. But hey, this deserves a subscribe, right? Also, join my Telegram channel for daily updates on the projects I'm working on. See you in the next video.